Hi guys, good afternoon I guess, all of you. Class start hoga, within 2-3 minutes we'll start class. Today we will do the basic of DI basically. That's our today's agenda. I hope you are doing fine. Sunday afternoon I must say. Yes. Hi everyone, hi. We'll start in 2 minutes. Hi all of you. So as today I'm just giving you a basic thing, what we are going to do today, it's basically we will have DI, basic DI. So we will understand like what kind of DI sets you might get, what is like the concept of basic DI, what kind of like things we are going to use in DI. So these are the things what we today are going to discuss majorly. So in 2-3 minutes we start. That's a good question. Why didn't I join I am Lucknow? Because like I can say in one line, yes, life happened. That's why I guess I didn't join I am Lucknow. And there are other reasons also. Sometime we can discuss that also in GDPA session someday when you'll get. We'll have a long story. It's not a very short story, like to explain how and why I didn't join I am Lucknow. So the thing is that it's when we talk about DI, so we all think about a lot of calculations and everything. And as you know, like CAT has your calculator on the screen, but the other exams, especially like XAT, SNAP, NMAT, you need to do a lot of calculations as well. And they have sometimes calculation-based DI also. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, everyone. Everyone, I hope you guys are also doing fine. It's a chilly morning in Delhi. I hope from everywhere and all over India you have. And yes, happy Lodi, all of you. So I think it's better we start now. I got I'm Lucknow by preparing for a year. If you ask me, it's like around a 3 months kind of preparation I have done. Yes, you can follow that also. Otherwise, we have our own thing also. If you can, like, you get in dashboard, you can go all the good sets of TI. You can discuss other books and other materials as well. That's no problem. But yes, we will provide you the best possible sets what you can get from our side. Okay, so let's begin. So yes, so what kind of things we will discuss in TI? So you can see we have, like I just made this thing, what we are basically going for this thing. In DI, we have different type of questions. The first few things you need to understand, it's basically, the first few thing, it's basically, just a minute, yes. So it's like a based on calculation. This is one type of DI. It was previous time in IFT you got a lot of questions which is only based on calculation, even in ZAT or CAT also. But these days we are not very on to calculation. So we have always a mix of things basically which needs calculation and along with some other things. The second is based on reasoning. This is also known as logical DI. We call this as another name. You can see in all of books and everywhere. We call it also logical DI. This is basically DI which is also based on reasoning. It's basically a junction where we use LRDI together. So DI is this logical DI is only where we use reasoning only. Next thing is based on calculation and reasoning. That is what I'm saying. Like this is like the most important part of the word where you need to use calculation as well as logical interpretation. And yes, based on arithmetic concept, you can see we have a lot of questions which is based on profit loss DI, which is based on pie chart DI, which is based on, let's say, increment, which is decrease, increase kind of questions where we use a lot of concept of percentage, ratio, profit loss, all of these type of questions. Sometimes we can get questions based on even time and work also. So am I clear? Like, are you all of you guys are audible right now? I guess it's basically because of the mic, maybe. I think my voice is good now. All of you, pretty fine. So we will discuss this type 4 things in entire DI. So the entire DI is based on these 4 things. If you do all these 4 things, we will cover the entire DI things. Now the next thing is what, like the format of DI problems. So this is a very important thing, how DI problems generally look like. So what you will expect when you are getting a DI questions. The first thing is like obviously the head notes is there. Head notes is like the basic, let's say you can say something which is given to you, like the basic premise we can also say in English. You got know like in RC in like let's say critical reasoning you have premise. Now this is the premise. So directions or head notes are basically the premise of the DI. Now the data. So the data can be represented in so many other ways. So next part always is the data. Like it can be in tabular form, it can be in bar graph, it can be line graph, chart, it can be stacked bar, it can be network diagram, it can be a lot of different type of representation of data we have. So that is basically representation of data. Next is footnotes. Footnotes is after the table, there are certain notes are there. Like let's say what is profit, what is loss, or some profit loss kind of DI. Some other kind of DI you can get some questions which is basically they'll give you some formula, which formula you're going to use for growth. So this kind of things you'll always get in footnotes. And after that the question is based on all these 3 things. So in case of DI you need to combine these 3 things to get your correct and or accurate answers. Am I clear? So this is basically the format of DI and this is the types of DI questions what we generally expect from CAT and other management exams. So the next thing which is also very important here, whenever we call about the representation of data, so now you need to understand why data is so important, because whenever you're doing an MBA, you need to interpret so many data. Now you know about like analytics, you know about big data, you know about let's say AIs these days obviously. So everything is based on the basic principle is feeding data. So you need to understand what kind of data you are having. So that's why DI is a very important thing so that we can understand a lot of things based on DI. So imagine I'm giving you a lot of data, haphazard data. It's like the population of India and the per capita of income of like let's say every capital of the state, let's say. So if I put it in a very haphazard way, it's very difficult to interpret. Now if I put it in some way, let's say in a bar graph or in a chart or in a pie chart, so it's very easy for us to visualize, to understand the things. That's why DI is very well important to understand the representation of data. So we all need this DI things, this kind of presentation things later on your life, in your MBA programs, if you want to work with AI industries or especially with like, let's say data kind of analytics, finance, everywhere you need to use data. So that's why it's very, very important to understand the data. Not only for the CAT, but also for everywhere in your life. You need to deal with a lot of data because we have 7 billion people. So you can understand how data is. As like someone great said, like data is the next oil. So data is like the next big power what we can have. And we can do so many things by data. So let's go to our CAT thing. Let's go for the next slide. The next slide is basically we will start understanding what we need to solve DI things and we will understand what kind of charts we may get in DI. So this is a basic DI session, so where we are getting familiar with what techniques we are going to use and what kind of charts we are having. So it's not a very like solving kind of class, it's basically the understanding class of DI. So please understand this. So next is like this is you can call this is one kind of chart you always get. This is also known as table. And it is also known as a tabular format. So this format is basically known as tabular format. You can see this format. So this is company A. There's a cost given, profit percentage is given. So there is nothing in head. If you see, there is nothing in head. Head is like, if you see there, I'm sorry. So if you see here, so there is nothing on head exactly. So if you see the head is blank, so it's only directly this one. This one is the tabular form of the data. So in a table, the data is given. And this is like the footnote. Now in the footnote, what I have already told you, you have this thing. Like a profit of a company is what? That is revenue minus cost. Negative value of a profit indicates a loss, obviously. Profit percentage of a company is profit upon cost into 100. So you can see that we are basically using percentage in this kind of DI also. So that's what I'm saying, like what we can use, we use percentage, we use tabular form, all of these things we use in DI. Most, like give you one example, let's say the cost of company is 120 and the profit percentage is, let's say, 50, right? So in this case, if I need to find what is the revenue, so my revenue from this formula, I can get the revenue is basically cost plus profit, right? So revenue is nothing but cost plus profit. How I get from this statement? So this statement is given, profit of a company is revenue minus cost. Now, what is your cost? So for A only, the cost is basically 120. Now the profit percentage is 50%. Now you need to understand this is given in percentage, it's not in the value. So you cannot directly add 120 plus 50. So it is wrong because it is given in percentage. So what you need to do, you need to find what is 50% of 120. So your revenue should have been 120 plus, that is 50%. 50% of 120, which is basically 60. So it is 120 plus 60, which is 180. So based on this data, we can understand what is the revenue of company A. So similarly, we can understand what is the revenue of company B. In case of B, you can see there is a loss because negative indicates loss. And in case of C, again, it's a profit, D, it's a profit, E, it's a loss, F, it's a loss. So whenever it is negative, we understand it's a loss component. Whenever it is positive, we understand it's a profit component. You understand? All of you. So this is a kind of an example of a data which is basically based on a table. And this is known as tabular form of data. So next kind of chart that we are going to discuss now, which is basically data interpretation. This is known as bar graph. Now, if you can see, like all of this looks like exactly bar. These are like bars. So this is also known as multiple bar graphs. Why it is known as multiple bar graphs? You can see under ECE, we have 3 bars. Under CACE, we have 3 bars. That's why we call it a multiple bar graphs. Do you understand why it is multiple bar graphs? If it is a single bar, we will call it bar graph, general bar graph. If it is a multiple, like 1, 2, 3 with for ECE, 1, 2, 3 for CACA, 1, 2, 3 for IT. So this kind of graph is known as multiple bar graph or multiple bar diagrams. Both are absolutely fine. Now if you see, again there is no head note, it's only the footnote. This is the footnote again. What is this? This is passed, failed and re-evaluated. So if you see this like the chessboard kind of thing, that is basically passed, this is basically fail, and this is basically re-evaluate. So I can say in case of ECE, 63 has passed, 27 has failed, and 12 is basically going for re-evaluation. Similarly for CAC, we can say this is 70, this is a past number of students who has passed the exam, 18 is number of the students who has failed the exam, and 10 went for re-evaluation. So this is how we interpret the bar graph also. I hope you understand what I am trying to say. So this is like different type of bar graphs where we use. So if you see, like if I give you data in a tabular form, let's say in a table, and if I give you the data in this bar form, it is way easier to make anyone understand like what it is all about. So it's very easy to visualize. We can easily say in CAC, CAC is more than ECE. In CAC is also more than EE. So it's very easy to see, not only about the value, about just seeing the height of the bar. Do you understand me? That's why it is easier to compare. So you can see like this, all the heights, this height is basically being represented as the volume. So the volume of 70, it should have been more height. The volume of 63 should have been less height. So that's why we can interpret so easily from the bar graph. So that's why it is a much more easier approach to understand the data by using bar graph than using just a table. So next is, this is known as line graph. Now if you see this is a line graph, now we have introduced one header. So this one is header. So the following line graph shows a percentage increase in the price of 4 products A, B, C, D of XYZ company for the given years. And this note is basically generally should have been in below, but it is also in given. So we consider everything is in header. And so you can see like, let's say A is the blue line. So you can see it's like the increase you can see. So it's from this 15 to there's an increase. So from this line graph, you can understand whether it is increasing, it is decreasing. Forget about the data, forget about everything. For just by seeing the graph, let's say this is a straight line for this C, for the C product. So you can see the straight line, so there is no change. it's going upward, there is profit, or there is increase, I'm so sorry, this increase. Again going down, decrease, again going down, decrease, again increasing, again same, again decreasing. So by just seeing this thing, we can easily say in which year the price is increasing, in which year the price is decreasing. Do you understand like how this thing works? And from this, from the value which is in left, you can understand what is the value. Like the value for C is basically 10. Now it goes around 25 in this. So 10 is in 2010. Again, this is the year you can see. So in 2010, the value of C product, which is the gray thing, which is basically 10. And again in 2011, it is 10. Again in 2012, it's become 20. Again in 2000, let's say 13, it became 15. So it goes on like this. So we can find the data also. We can interpret whether there is increase or decrease just by seeing the line also. So this is all about the line graph. So line graph, what is the importance of line graph? When there is something which is increasing, decreasing, and you just need to focus mostly on increase, decrease, or let's say something is changing, let's say population growth. So we always use line graph when our major focus is on increase, decrease. Because in line graph, it's very easy to understand whether the slope is upward or the slope is downward. Slope is upward, it's increasing. Slope is downward, it is decreasing. So that is like the base of this line graph. Next, we will see that is pie chart. A lot of people already have seen this kind of thing. We use this thing very often. This is again known as multiple pie charts or multiple pie graphs. Because you see, we can have one pie graph also, we can have two pie graphs also. When there is more than one pie graphs, in CAT, a lot of times you can see this type of questions on pie. So pie is very important in CAT syllabus. Very important in CAT syllabus, the pie chart. So please understand, like this is a multiple pie diagram. So if you see the header shows what is chart 1, this is one is chart 1. So the chart 1 is basically showing like the volume transported, and the second chart is basically showing which is cost of transportation. So I can say the 9% of the entire volume belongs to rail, and the 12% of the cost belongs to rail. So these two are different interpretation. This interpretation is based on the volume. Let's say you are transporting 100 ton. So I can say 9 ton of the goods is basically being transported by rail. And if let's say 100 billion or 100 million is your total cost of transportation, I can say 1.12 million is basically the cost for rail transportation. So let's say if I just make it like this, let's say make it, it's 100 ton, and let's say this make it, let's say 100,000. So that is the total cost, let's say in rupees, and let's say in ton. So I can say for rail, the volume is 9 ton. This is for rail. Because what is 9%? So 9% is 100 ton ka 9% kitna hoga? 9 ton. Am I clear? And for 100,000, what is 12%? 12% is basically 12,000. So for rail, the costing is 12,000, and the volume is 9 ton. So I can easily say for each like unit of rail, it will charge more than the average or each unit cost of rail. So let's say because 9 ton of things will cost you 12,000. So that's why we can understand for which is more costlier, which is less costlier by just using this. Am I clear? I'm sorry about this, let's say clarity. You just need to understand like what it is. Basically, I understand like because of the color combination, you might get some kind of like visual disruption. I understand it, but just understand it. So this is 9%, this is 12%. So I can say like rail is contributing more for the cost. Do you understand me? More like as a percentage basis, as a per capita basis. So this is pie chart. So we will discuss a lot of things based on pie chart also. And second most important thing in pie chart, what I have not shown it here, everything is in calculated percentage. But sometimes the pie chart also has questions which is based on degree. Because if it is the entire thing is 100%, this also has same as 360 degrees. So I can say this 100% is same as 360 degree. So sometimes you can get only the degrees also, like these are the degrees. So sometimes you just can get the degrees. So in a lot of questions, we need to convert degrees to percentage, percentage to degrees. By 100% is 360 degree, because the total entire thing is 100% and the entire amount of degrees is also 360, because we know in a circle what is the total value of the degrees, 360. So using this thing, we also solve a lot of questions where we get in degrees, we get in percentage. And it is always very important to understand how we convert. So I give you one example. Let's say if 100% is 360 degree, what is 10%? 10%, just make 1 0 out, so it is 36 degree. Do you understand this? I hope I make everyone clear. So this is how we can convert degree to percentage or percentage to degree. This is all about pie chart. So why pie chart is important? It's very easy to understand. Again, it is pictorial and you can see the entire thing in one pie chart. You can say, you cannot see like, it's not like a long thing like a pie chart, like a bar graph. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. But in case of pie chart, everything is in one single circle. That's why it is very easy to understand which one has a bigger pie, which one has a smaller pie. We generally say, you got a bigger pie of the profit, you got a smaller pie of the profit. And this term comes from only this interpretation only, because we generally interpret in this way. I hope you are understanding all of this, like the basic interpretation of the graphs, what kind of graph we are going to use in future. So next we will see, this is also one kind of graph. This is basically, now I'm mixing it. Now I'm mixing bar graph with line graph. So this is single bar diagram or single bar graph, and this is line graph, you can see. So in this case, you also see there is in left side, there is some data, in right side, there is some data, and in below there is some data. Am I clear? And it is also say this blue one is numbers and this orange one is basically percentage. So the blue one will contribute to left side. So this thing is contribute to this side. All of this thing is contribute to this side. And this orange line will contribute to this side, in the right side. Am I clear how I interpret this data? So because number of customers visited, it's the bar thing and it is generally left. So this is a blue thing and it is the numbers. If you can see, these are the numbers. And the percentage, these are the percentage. So the percentage will go for the right hand data. The bar graph will, only for the bar, we will see the left hand data, which is basically in this data. And for the percentage, this is the right data. Am I clear? So if you just say, let's say for day 3, percentage of customers who made purchase. So now you can see, understand this thing. This is a very common thing for a shop, let's say. How many footfall is there and how many customers who can buy or who bought already from that particular store. So this kind of graph can give you understanding of both things together. You understand, right? Because let's say in XYZ company or in XYZ store, in the first day, 50% people has visited the store. Let's say iStore, let's say. So 50 people has visited iStore and out of them 40% has made purchase. So from this thing we can understand 40% of 50 people has made the purchase. Do you understand me? How we interpret this thing? So in case of second day, like let's say second day, this is, I guess this is 65. Let's say this is 65. So 65 people actually visited iStore and out of them around 50% made the purchase. Again in day 3, let's say 40 people have visited the store and out of them around, let's say 26% has made the purchase. So in this way we can easily understood how many people are purchasing, what is the percentage of purchase, what is the less, how many people you can retain, how many free customers just come to visit like all of us do, like in mall, like we just go and visit some stores and we just came out. So this is a very important data for them because they need to understand for how many footfalls you require to understand like you have a good visibility. Again, you need to find how good your staff are so that they can make a choice. Is it fine? I guess so. This is like 40%. So I guess you understand this graph. So from this thing, from this line graph, you can understand your efficiency of the staff who can easily make or if we can easily sell. And from this bar, you can understand about the visibility of store. So how many people are visiting the store. Am I clear, all of you? So I just give you one example. Let's say about day 6. In day 6, you can see it's a very less number of people visited. Might be it's a let's say it's a very busy weekday, so less people visited the store. So it's, you can say this is 20. So 20% people, 20 people visited the store on day 6, but still they have made around 22%, let's say, sales out of 20 people. So in this case, you can see the number of people is also less and the conversion rate is also less. So from this bar graph, we can understand both of these things. Yes, I'll explain data on 5th day. You're right. So this is data on 5th day. So you can see the bar is between 40 and 50. So I can assume this thing as around, let's say, 45. So 45 people have visited the store, and what is the conversion? So let's assume this is 55. So 55% of people have made purchase out of this 45 people. You understand? So in 5th day, this is the day 5. In day 5, how many people visited the store? The number of people who visited the store is basically this one, which is basically 45 approximately. And how many purchased, what is the percentage of purchase they made? That is in between 50 and 60, which is 55%. So we can say they have a very good conversion of customers into purchaser. So this is how we can understand like a data. Day 5 I have explained already. Day 6 I am explaining again. So day 6 is basically how many people have visited. So if you see this thing, like this is going to this. So 20 people visited. So day 6, this is going to this direction. So how many people visited? 20 people visited. So in day 6, this is 20 people. So 20 people visited in day 6. And what is the percentage? Again, this one. Now do a parallel line in this direction. So this is between 20 and 30. So something around 22%. I just assumed. It is anything between 20 and 30. Yes, I think I can teach both. Like I can teach both Quant, DI, in fact, BARC, all of it. So don't worry. So let's see, like mostly I guess Quant or DI. We'll see on it. So all of you, I guess you have understood this kind of interpretation of data. So next is, this is called stacked bar. Why it is called stacked bar? This because this is one bar graph and lot of information also inside the bar graph. Please pardon me because of the lights. So it's a little bit unclear, but you just need to understand like there are 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, like total 5 components in a particular bar graph. So that's why we call it stacked bar graph. Why it is called stacked bar graph? You know something about someone about like from CSE and all background. So stack and queue. Stack is like you're putting something in a particular system. So we're putting something in this bar. So that's why it is stacked. So that's why it is called stacked bar diagram. So you can see like if from this what you can interpret. So there are 5 people, that is Anay, Bhola, Chintu, Dinu and Ishwar. So you can say like Anay's contribution is around 20 on 30, which is basically, let's assume 28%. You can say Bhola's contribution from 28 to, let's, this is 48. So Bhola's contribution is 20%, because if it is 48%, so 48 minus 28 is 20%. So 20% is Bhola's contribution. Let's say this is 48 and this is, let's say, 66. So if it is 66%, so the difference of these two things is basically contribution of Chintu. So what is 66 minus 48? That is, so that is 1 and 8, 18%. So in this way, so 18% is basically this one, 20% is basically this one, 28% is basically this one. So in this way, we can interpret this stacked bar. So again, 66 and let's say this is 88. So let's think about this, that is 88%. So what is this? This is 88 minus 66, which is 22. So in this way, we can understand like Anna's contribution is 28%, Bhola's contribution is 20%, then Chintu's contribution is 18%, Dinu's contribution is 22%, and the rest is contribution made by Ishwar. Am I clear? Yes, I understand it's a little bit blurred. Just understand it like yes, it's a little bit blurred, but I'm just giving you one example of how this bar looks like in general. How this looks like in general. So this is known as a stacked bar diagram. So next is we will understand now like how we are going to use, what tools are we going to use to solve this kind of data or this kind of DI questions. Now you need to understand this is not all the graphs I have shown you. I have shown you the graphs which is more common. Apart from that, there are some graphs like you can see this kind of graph that is called network graph. You can have this network graph is there. You have spiral graph. These are basically for advanced DI. So we have network graphs, we have spiral graphs, all of these kind of graphs. We have this kind of graphs like network graph, spiral graph. We will have all of this kind of graphs we will discuss in the advanced classes, because this is not the general or basic graphs. Network, spiral, all of these things. So Saifuddin, I just give you one brief note. So this is basically the bar diagram, that is stacked bar. So what I was just trying to say, you don't need to pay too much attention about the calculation. You just need to understand what is stack. Stack is basically, it's something which is in a bar format and all of the data is in one bar. In the previous case, if you see, in this case, this bar is totally one single bar. But in case of stack bar, we have so many data inside of one particular bar. That is the difference between stack bar and general bar. You understand? This is a general bar. We have, this one is also general bar. There is no other data. There is no division here. Whenever we got a division like this is basically the stacked bar. Am I clear? Don't think too much about the data. Don't think too much. I'm just giving you an idea what this kind of things look like. How we can interpret a little bit of data. We will have all these things, different classes, so don't worry about it. So we're just giving you an idea, like a face-to-face with CAD. It's like what you actually get in CAD, what kind of graphs you can get, and what are the other things you can get. So not to afraid you, that's why we are not including these two things, because this looks a little bit horrible when you get this in question. That's why I just keep it like that. So we will discuss in the advanced classes. So next is how we can avoid unnecessary calculations. So the main important thing, like since like last 10 years since I was teaching, or I have been teaching, so a lot of people have asked me one question: how we take care of the calculation? Because in DI, especially in the previous years and even today also in the other non-CAT exams, there are a lot of calculation in also DI. You can see ZAD, you can see SNAP, in fact NMIMS, NMAT, CUT, MHCT, all of these paper, they have DI which is totally calculation based. So our always objective is how to make this calculation a little bit easier, how to avoid unnecessary calculation, what should be our approach towards calculation, and how we can be faster in calculation. Now listen to one thing. You need to understand first thing, this thing, like all of these tools what we are going to learn today, I guess mostly this tool we are going to learn more or less, it's not like you can do it by one go. You need regular practice to understand the techniques, or to not only understand, to use it in your own practice. You understand me? Because you can learn it very fast, but unless you are practicing, it's very difficult to do it in your exam. So you have to do a lot of calculation to increase your speed and to use in this way of calculation. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because it's very important here. Like we may understand, we may learn so many things. We have knowledge, but whenever you are going with this knowledge into practice, then that makes a difference. So it's very important. It's not only about just learning it. You have to practice the methods again and again. Then only you can have a good grab of it. Initially, you might think it's very difficult for you. Initially, you might think it's like it takes much more time. But think about it. The general way you are learning for the last 15 years, and this you just learn now. So you need to give it some time to make it yourself, like to make it something which is your own weapon. So these are the weapons what we use generally in solving DI. So this is first one is percentage tools, which I will teach you today mostly. Next is proper knowledge of ratio, and next is approximation. These two we will have in the other classes, but today we will majorly use percentage tools. That's why I have in the previous class I also have given you some example of percentage only, because it is everything is connected. That's why we have taken this percentage thing concept also. So today we will understand how we are using percentage tools to remove unnecessary calculations. Trust me, it's a great thing. Cool. So let's begin with the calculation part now. So I hope you have any doubt. I'm giving you 2 minutes. You can ask me about like anything in this, because the next session is basically this one, using percentage tools. Anything you want to ask me? Anything? Like, I'm giving you a minute. Just cool. Very nice, all of you guys. So the next thing that we are going to do today is the percentage tools. So here it is. So now don't be afraid of seeing this. Please don't be, because it might, you can think a lot of calculation is over there. And I ask everyone just to get a screenshot of this because you are going to use it a lot. Okay, please get a screenshot of this. Please get a screenshot of the entire thing because we are going to use it. So then I'll start explaining. So this is, you can see the header is said like this is percentage to fraction to decimal conversion. So how we convert percentage to fraction, and this is useful for calculation because we know the first thing, like what is half. We all know half is 50%. If I say half of the food I have eaten, what does it mean? I have eaten 50% of food. So half is equivalent to 50%. Similarly, 1/3 is equivalent to 33.33%. Most of you people know this, I guess. 1/4 you all know, because if half is 50%, what is 1/4? 25%. Absolutely. Next is what is 1/5? 20%. What is 1/6? You can see here, you can just check. 1/6 is 16.67%. What is 1/7? 17.28%, 14.28%. What is 1/8? That is 12.5%. What is 1/9? That is 11.11%. What is 1/10? That is 10%. Similarly, what is 1/11? That is 9.09%. What is 1/12? That is 8.33%. 1/13, 7.69. 1/14, 7.14. 1/15, 6.66. You know, you understand how fast I can say this thing because I remember, and you should remember this entire chart. This is non-negotiable. Something is non-negotiable. This is one. This is non-negotiable. You need to use it in every exam, not only CAT, all other entrance exams, MBA exams, any exam you can get, GMAT, JRE, whatever exams. If you remember this, it will give you a lot of time saving. Not only in DI, also in Quant also. So please remember this. Now I will help you to remember it also. Now check how I can remember. So mostly I know people learn this thing easily because till 1/5 we know that is still 20%. I hope most of people understand, like half is 50%, everyone understand it. 1/3 is 33, you all guys understand it. 1/4 is half of 50, 25%. 1/5 is 20%, that's fine. Now in case of 1/6 you need to remember obviously what is 1/6 is half of 1/3. It is 33.33, iska आधा कितना होगा? 16.67%. And if you can see 6 too, how you remember? 1/6. So just write 1666. That's easy to remember. You understand? So it is 1/6. I'm just using these two things. First write this number, then just write this number again and again. So that's why it's very easy to remember. 1/6 is 16.67%. 1/7, 14.28% approximately. How to remember? If I write 1/7, right? What is double of 7? 14. What is double of 14? 28. That is the easy way to remember. For 7, 7 double is 14, 14 double is 28. So therefore, how easy it is if you understand to remember. So remembering is also a technique how you remember things. So 1/6, write 1, then write all the 6. Again for 1/7, write 1, then write 14, 7 double is 14, then 14 double is 28. Now about 1/8. 1/8 is very easy to understand also. Why? Because I know what is 1/4. 1/4 is 25%, right? So what is आधा of 25%? 12.5%. So अगर 1/4 25% है तो 1/8 क्या होगा? उसका आधा, 25 का आधा कितना होता है? 12.5. Half of 25 is 12.5. So that's why you can easily understand 1/8 and you can easily remember also. So 1/8 you can remember with 1/4, this one. ठीक है? So we understand how we remember 1/6, 1/7, 1/8. 1/9, very easy to remember because 9 and 11 is just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 9, 11. And similarly, you know all about 10. So 1/11. 11 is just the inverse. 1/9 is 11.11. 1/11 is 9.09. So better you can also remember like this, 09.09. So in case of 9, it is 11.11, 11. In case of 1 upon 11, it is 0909. Am I clear? So repetition. Next is 1 by 12. 1 by 12 is easy to understand how. What is 1 by 6? 16.66. 1 by 6 का आधा कितना होता है? 1 by 6 का आधा 1 by 12. तो 16 का आधा कितना होगा? If I just write it like 16.66. 16 का आधा 8. 66 का आधा 33. So you'll get your answer 8.33. Am I clear? So 1 by 12 is half of 1 upon 6. So what is 1 by 6? 16.66. 16 का आधा करो कितना होगा? 8. 66 का आधा करो कितना होगा? 33. So it is 8.33 precisely. What is 1 by 13? 1 by 13 is approximately 7.7%. That you need to remember. You need to make it precise. It is 7.69%. And I don't think you have any problem remembering this number. I guess so. So this is 7.69%. So that's why I remember with 7.69, not with 7.7. So you can remember anything. So 1 by 14 is 7.14. Again, it is very easy to understand. Because what is 1 by 7? 14.28. इसका आधा करो. 14 का आधा क्या होगा? 7. 28 half of 28 is 14. तो 14 half is 7. 28 half is 14. 1 upon 15. 1 upon 15 is a tricky one because you can come from 1 upon 5 से. 20 है 1 upon 5. 20 is 1 upon 5 is 20. So 20 का 1/3 करो. That is 6.67. 1 upon 16 you can come from 1 upon 8. 1 upon 8 क्या है? 12.5. 1 upon 16 क्या है? उसका आधा. तो 12.5 is half. What is 12.5 is half? That is 6.25. So what you need to remember? You need to remember 1 upon 17, 1 upon 18, 1 upon 19. ये तीन अगर तुम याद रख लोगे, बाकी और तो तुम ऐसे ही उसको निकाल लोगे. I hope I make you understand. Alright, it's like that's why I use this thing. So इतना तक समझ आया. All of you have understood how I remember this thing. It's not only about I'm teaching you what to remember, and I'm teaching you how to remember also. It's also equally important because I feel a lot of people have a lot of problem to understand like numbers, to remember numbers. For me, for some people it can be easy, but so for some people I'm giving you the trick how to remember this. Some has asked me about 1 upon 11. So 1 upon 9 के लिए क्या था? देखो 1 upon 9. For 1 upon 9 it is 11.11. For 1 upon 11, it is 9.09. Just the inverse. So this one you can see it inverse. For 1 upon 9, 11.11. For 1 upon 11, 0909. So 11 for 11 it is 9. For 9 it is 11. Am I clear? Explain 1 by 15. Okay, I'm explaining 1 by 15. So 1 by 15, just check this. So in case of 1 by 15, so think about that. What is 1 by 5? 1 by 5 is 20. So if I need to make it 1 by 15, I need to divide it by 3. If I divide it by 3, it will become like 1 upon 5 divide by 3. It will become how much? 1 upon 15. Now I need to divide 20 by 3 also. What is 20 by 3? So 20 by 3 is 6.67. Am I clear? So that is how you remember things. So yes, that's why we all use this thing. Am I clear, everyone, I guess? So this is how you should remember. I'm giving a quick recap. How you remember 1 by 6? 1 by 6 is 16666. Goes on like this. 1 by 7, 7 double is 14, 14 double is 28. Remember like this. 1 by 7. What is double of 7? 14. What is double of 14? 28. So 1 by 7, 14.28. What is 1 by 8? 1 by 4 is how much? 1 by 4 is 25. So 1 by 4 अगर 25 है तो 1 by 8 is half of 25. What is half of 25? 12.5. What is 1 by 9? This is 11.11. 11.11. Remember 11.11. 9 के लिए 11. So what I have said about 11? 1 upon 11. If 11 is same to 9, 9 is same to 11. So 1 upon 9 is 11.11. 1 upon 11 is 0909. So 9.09. Am I clear? 1 upon 12 is 1 upon 6 का आधा. What is 1 upon 6? That is 16.66. What is 16 का आधा? 8. What is 66 का आधा? 33. So 8.33. That is 1 upon 12. Next is 1 upon 13. 1 upon 13 is, you need to remember, that is 1 upon 13 is 7.7 or 7.69. I remember it as 7.69 because 7.69 is precise. Remember it. 1 upon 13 is 7.69. And this is easy to remember. I guess you all agree with me. Let's make things honest. So next is 1 upon 14. So 1 upon 14 is 1 upon 7's half. So what is 1 upon 7? 14.28. So half of it, what is half of 14? 7. Half of 28? 14. So 1 upon 14 is 7.14. Now what is 1 upon 15? That is 20 ka 1/3, because 1 upon 5 is 20%. 1 upon 50 has to be 1/3 of 20. 1/3. So 20 by 3 is 6.67. What is 1 upon 16? 1 upon 8. 1 upon 8 is how much? 12.5. We already done it. So 1 upon 16 has to be half of 1 upon 16, half of 12.5. What is it? 6.25. Next is, you need to remember 1 upon 17, 5.88. Yes, always. 1 upon 17 is 5.88%. 1 upon 18, 5.56. 1 upon 19, 5.26. ये तीन तुम्हें याद रखना है सिर्फ मेजरली. तीन नहीं, चार, बट एक तो ऑलरेडी 1 upon 13 हो चुका है. तो 1 upon 17 is 5.88. 1 upon 18 is 5.56. 1 upon 19 is 5.26. This is how I taught you. That is the easier way to remember. Trust me. This is the easier way to remember. You need to learn it. You need to remember it. You need to use it in question. That's why you can remember. That's why you can do it faster. And this is the technique, what I'm saying. This is how you remember it faster. Next, this is something you should also understand, because I know what is 1 upon 25. This is obviously 4%. 1 upon 30 is 3.33%. 1 upon 40 is 2.5%. 1 upon 50 is 20%. And 1 is 100%. So 1 upon 100 is 1%. So let's think about that. 1 out of 100 is 1%. So what is half? 50%. What is 1 by 4? 25%. What is 1 by 5? 20%. What is 1 upon 30? That is 3.33%. What is 1 upon 40? That is 2.5%. This thing is also very common in exam. That's why I have written it differently. This is like the most common things you can get in exam in this kind of conversion. These things. That's I have seen like for last 10 years. This is like the most common things. You should know it. You should have it. But otherwise, this thing you also have to remember. This is non-negotiable. It's the first thing we'll do. Just remember. This is your task for today. Just remember this. Take all the numbers. Make it like this. Just remember. Just ask someone to ask you. Then you answer it. And this is how you can remember it faster. So next we'll go for the next slide, I guess. I hope I make you understand this thing. Anyone has anything doubt, you can let me know in this. I hope I'm making you easier to understand, I guess. So let's go for the next one. Now next one, please have this screenshot. I have already told you. Please have this screenshot, because we are going to use it in lot many cases now. Lot many cases. So our next thing is based on this. So please have this screenshot. So it's very easy for you to go back and go forth. So now I'll give you one very interesting number. Something which have been asked me in IIM Ahmedabad interview. Yes, I didn't convert IIM Ahmedabad, that's a different story. But this question, like this number, the question on this number has been asked in IIM Ahmedabad interview. 2014, 22nd Feb, I remember the date also. Because that was my first interview in the entire life. So the first, they have asked me about this number, 1 upon 7. And please pay attention. This is the IIM Ahmedabad interview question. Thank you guys, thank you. I guess you are enjoying a little bit of calculation today. So 1 upon 7 is 14, actual I am writing, 0.2857. Do not get terrified, please. Again, 14.2857. So that means it is basically repeating after this. Cool? So it is basically being repeated. So I can say, I can just cancel this. I can say 1 upon 7 is 14.2857. It is actually. So 14, 7 ka main kya bola tha? What I have told you, 7 double is 14, 14 double is 28, 28 double is 56. So that's 1 added. So 14.2857 is basically the actual value of 1 upon 7. Now why I am telling you this? Let's make one magic out of this. So about 2 by 7, right? Now think about this number. There are 6 numbers, 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, right? 6 numbers are there. Yes, this is non-term. It's a recurring. This is we call recurring. So 6 numbers are there, 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7. Now what is the second biggest number out of these 6 numbers after 1? Second biggest number out of this 6 number क्या है यहाँ पे 142857 के अंदर second largest मतलब second number like after 1 like the second least number the second least number. What is the second least number after 1 in this number like 142857? What is the second least number? 2. So if second least number is 2, just make a circle like this. So 2 by 7 should be 28.5714. Is that easy? So 2, so just make a circle from 2 starting from this till it ends here. Clear? What about 3 upon 7? Now what is the next bigger number after 2? After 2 the next bigger number is 4 or even in here also. So now in this case you can start from here, here and again do the same thing, the circle. So 3 by 7 has to be 42.8571. Am I clear? What about 4 by 7? What is the next big number after 4? After 4 the next big number is 5. So start from here and go a circle till this. So starting from this ending here. So 4 by 7 has to be 57.1428. Am I making sense, guys? What is 5 by 7 then? Now do you understand the game? And this is the magical number. 1 upon 7 is one of the magical numbers exist in the number system. Trust me. If you see numbers in this way, you might think it's a little bit interesting. Little bit. Like not much, but a little bit. So 5 upon 7. What is 5 upon 7? What's the next number after 5? That is 7. So start from here. Make a circle. Same as like this. So 71.4285. And what is 6 upon 7? The last one. Start from here and goes like this. That is 85.7142. So you can understand, you can learn all the numbers for 7 by just using this. Is it cool? Guys? So we can have, now your next question might be, till how much? Till 6 by 7? Only like this? What we'll do after this? We have the answer for that also. Now what is 7 by 7? So we have completed one entire circle, right? The one entire circle starting from 1 by 7 to 7 by 7. So should not it be 0.57? Yeah, AD cat 0.57 it is right, but I am making it in percentage. So that's why I am multiplying with 100. That's why it is 57.1428. So all of these things what we have done is conversion into percentage. All of this in percentage. Please understand, I'm not writing everywhere, but everything is in percentage format, right? Everything is in percentage. We are learning percentage. Cool? Ashish, you just need to understand 1 by 7 is 142857. So 2 by 7, what is the next bigger number? That is 2. We just make a circle like this. So 28.5714. What is 3 by 7? What is next number out of 2 after 2? That is 4. So 428571 like this. What is 4 by 7? What is the next bigger number after 4? That is 5. So 571428. It's just the circle. You just need to form the circle. Perfect, perfect. I'm glad like you guys are all getting this. So now the next question, like some of you people have asked me like what after this? If there is a bigger number, what will you do? Right? This is a smaller number. Okay, fine. So you got this. But what about some number which is like, let's say, just any number. Let's say if I need to make 23 by 7 into percentage forward. The question is 23 is what percentage of 7, right? This is your question, obviously. Now think about it. If you just need to do it by calculation, how much time you will take? You will write 23 by 7 into 100. So you will multiply 2300, then we will divide by 7. So you need to do this same thing, right? It's too much. But what I can do here, so just make it in a mixed fraction. So this is 3, 2 by 7. What is 23 by 7? 3, 2 by 7. Yes, exactly. That's why in 7. So this is 3 2 by 7. Now for 3, this is 300% because I know already 1 is 100%. So 3 is 300%. And what is 2 by 7? That is 28.57. So 300 plus 28.57. I'm writing the short form. So that is 328.57. It's that simple. Am I clear? Any doubt in this? All of you? Everyone? You're getting this? So we can do anything we like. So I give you one extra last example for 7. Let me erase something. Like last one example, let's say if it is, let's say it's a very big number, right? Maybe it's a very big number, let's say 100 by 7 in percentage, right? I need to find it in percentage. So first what I'll do, now I don't need to write all the steps. So first I'll do, it is 14. I know this is 1498. So 14, 2 by 7. So 14, it is 1400. So your answer will be 1428.57. It's in one line you can solve it. Trust me, in one, you can solve it in less than even 3-4 seconds. This magic is only with number 7. Yes. No, it's not. It is only for 7. For the other numbers we have already discussed and we will discuss it again. This is only for 7. And 7 is a very common number. You can see in a CAT question, there are a lot of remainder questions based on 7. There are a lot of this kind of questions based on 7. And this thing, they have this pattern checking, they have asked me in IIM Ahmedabad interview. So they asked me like, what about the number 7? That was the question. And this is they were expecting actually. All of you guys who have done it correctly, absolutely right, absolutely right. I guess all of you have got it. So this is how fast you can. You can do it in 3 seconds, trust me. In no other ways you can do it this fast. This is like, I just give you like 100% assurance. If you this way, this is a faster way. So very, very fast. 23 by 7, again, this is the last time I'm explaining because I need to go forward also. So 23 by 7 is basically, this is 3 is the mixed fraction and this is a proper fraction 2 by 7. So 3 is basically 300 because 1 is 100%. What is 3? 3 is 300%, right? So 23 by 7 hai na? So 3 is basically 300%. What is 2 by 7? That is 28.57%. So 300 plus 28.57, that together it is 328.57. Am I clear? I'm repeating 100 by 7 once again. So 100 by 7, if I do it step by step, 100 by 7. What is it? 14, 2 by 7. Now for 14, we have 1400%. For 2 by 7, we have 28.57%. So if you sum it, it is 1428.57. Am I clear? Is it clear? Guys, all of you, I guess I make you more or less understandable, all of these things, I hope. So we'll go for the next thing, and I tell you this is not a one-time thing. Some people can pick it up in one, some people may take more time. It's absolutely all right. It's no problem. We all have our own pace. So if you have like difficulty also, it's a good thing, good concept. Please go through it again and again and again. So next thing. Cool. So the next thing that we are going to discuss is something which we are now using this concept in a far more better way. I have mathematics and computing, double major. It's from Intro Maths. That was my background. But though that math is completely different from this math, trust me. So I have taken the RMO and all of these things also. But this is a different maths. So my maths background is just not like at par with this thing. So they are different. So anyway, so this is now I'm going to use all of these things in some question, not everything, because I have told you we are not learning approximation. Trust me, we'll learn approximation. That will also blow your mind, how fast you can do calculation. But today, how to convert mixed fraction. Guys, if you don't know how to convert mixed fraction, I am suggesting, please don't take me otherwise. Go the basic videos, there we have how to convert the mixed fraction. So or otherwise you just please post it in the group. Someone will make you understand, because if I just make it like this, it will be very long thing, so I cannot cover it. So please excuse me. Yeah, I'm from a lot of places. Bangalore is also one of the places where I belong. Yes, you're right. As good as Kolkata also. So next thing that we are going to discuss is how we are going to use all of these things in application. So please have this thing again in screenshot. So now I'm going to give you some way how we are going to use it. So let's begin. Think about this number. Someone has asked you to find what is 4 upon 9 is what percentage? What is 4 upon 9? Four upon 9, what is it in percentage? 4 upon 9. Now how to solve it? We know 1 upon 9 is how much? 11.11%. So what is 4 upon 9? Just multiply it with 4. Clear? 44.44%. So now you can see how I can use 1 upon 9, which I have told you to remember. So if 1 upon 9 is 11.11%, what is 4 upon 9? 44.44%. Clear? Not 11.11, please. It's 44.44 because it is 4 upon 9. This is 4. This is 4 upon 9. I'm sorry if you think it is 1 upon 9. It's 4 upon 9. So 1 upon 9 is 11.11%. I multiply this thing with 4. I multiply this thing with 4. I'll get 44.44%. Similarly, in case of, let's say, if it is like 7 upon 11. What is 7 upon 11? Because I know what is 1 upon 11. 1 upon 11 is 9.09. Just multiply it with 7. So 7 upon 11 has to be 63.63. Faster? Clear? All of you with me? So this is how we can really easily convert this kind of fraction also into percentage by using the base chart what we have. Cool? So the next thing for 1 upon 11 is 9.09, so that is 63.63, right? So this is the easier one. Now let's go for something which is much more difficult than this. So I'm erasing it. Now think about some number like this. Think about a number like 11 upon 19. Not 19, like make it a little bit here. 11, 11, 11 upon 17, let's say. 11 upon 17. Now you might face a lot of calculation there. 11 upon 17, what can be the answer? So one easy way method, what I was doing in the previous cases, that is what I find. What is 1 upon 17? 1 upon 17 is 5.88, right? The one method is you might need to multiply 11 by 17 is just multiply this into 11. Right? That is one way to do it. Clear? Next way to do it is 11 upon 17 can be also written as 10 upon 17 plus 1 upon 17. Can I write like this? 10 upon 17 plus 1 upon 17. All of you? I guess I can write. So what is 1 upon 17? This is 5.88. And if 1 upon 17 is 5.88, what is 10 upon 17? Just remove this dot to here, this decimal to here. So this is 58.8. So your answer is approximately 64.6. How fast it is? Am I clear? So what I made 11. These are like the techniques. So some technique I can teach you. So remaining technique you need to develop with yourself. Am I clear? All of you? So this is how we work with 11 upon 17. This is a much more difficult calculation than just doing this. So I'm just breaking it 11 upon 17 in 10 upon 17 and 1 upon 17. I know what is 1 upon 17, which is 5.88, and I know 10 upon 17. Just this, make this decimal to in this place. So it is 58.8. So if you sum it, it is 64.6. Clear? Clear, all of you guys? I guess you're on it. Perfect. So let's make it a little bit more trickier, this kind of thing. Let's see how you can do this. Now think about 13 upon 22. How to do this? And now trust me, whatever I have taught you, it's inside this. I'm not giving you something which is other kind of approximation, which we'll learn obviously in the later class. Don't worry about it. This is just the basic, like I'm using only the percentage chart to solve this kind of question. 13 upon 22. Guys, 13 upon 22. 13 upon 22, how to do this? Now you can say like, so I don't know what is about 22, how to do this. So like, let's make it something, some adjustment. Can I write it like this? It's 11 upon 22 plus 2 upon 22. Can I like this? Write this. 11 upon 22 plus 2 upon 22, guys. Yes. Excellent, Yash. That is how you should do. So now what is 11 upon 22? That is 1 by 2. And what is 2 upon 22? That is 1 upon 11. Now you know this. Easy thing, right? So what is 1 upon 2? That is 50%. What is 1 upon 11? That is 9.09%. So what is it? 59.09%. Clear? No, bro. No, Neman. In case of 7 by 11, it is 63.63, not 063. Because it is 09.09. If you multiply with, then 0 will get out of that equation. It is 63.63. Clear, everyone? You understand like how I'm using the same technique in different ways. Am I clear? So let's get another one example. Let's get one example like okay, 7 upon 13. 7 upon 13. Just understand this. You will understand all of these things. What is about 7 upon 13? 7 upon 13, how to do this? Let's check how we can solve 7 upon 13. So we can do one thing. We know 1 by 13, I ask you to remember, it is 7.69%. So you can take it 7.69 or you can take it approximately 7.7 as well. No harm in anything, right? So one thing you can do, you can just multiply to 7.7. So it is 1 by 13 is 7.7. So 7 upon 13 is this into 7. That is one way you can directly solve it, right? So now you just multiply. What is 7 into 7? 49 plus 4.9. Why 4.9? Because 7.7 I can write 7 plus 0.7. So 7 into 7 is 49. This 7 into 7 is 49. This 0.7 into 7 is 4.9. So if you add this, you'll get 53.9. This is one way to solve. SIBM call is possible. Yes, you're right. SIBM call possible. You have a good chance with SIBM. Anyway, so you understand this. There's another way also you can solve this question, which is a little bit different, but you should also understand the second method, which I'm going to solve it now. Can I make it like this? 6.5 plus 13 plus 0.5 by 13. So this is half. This is 1 by 26. Now half is 50% and 1 by 26 is 1 upon 13 by 2. So 50 plus 7.7 by 2, which is 53.9 approximately. Am I clear? So you can do it like this also. So these are all techniques. I'm showing you all different techniques so that you can be comfortable whatever you are going to use. So if you're good with multiplication, you do it. If you do it like separating the terms, you are going to do it. So it's up to you. So we are now just discussing all of these numbers, just taking these numbers from the pool, whatever we have. Which one, which one, like this one, this 7 upon 13, I'm just explaining again another time. So 1 upon 13 is 7.7%. So 7.7 I have written as 7 plus 0.7. Now if I need to make it 7 upon 13, if I need to make it 7 upon 13, I need to multiply with 7. So what is 7 into 7? 49. And what is 7 into 0.7? 4.9. Add this 53.9. Am I clear? Today is not the first class, trust me. It's like the basic pre-classes. We will discuss a lot of things also in the new classes, which is actually the paid classes, which will start. This is like the free class. So this is not the first class also. So the next thing, this is 53.9, and second way I have solved, like I make 7 as 6.5 and 0.5. Now you need to understand why I'm making like this. I'm making like this as 6.5 is basically 13 ka आधा hai. So this thing you have to keep in your mind. So you need to understand the numbers, how you can go there, how you can think exactly out of the box. So if it is, second method is 6.5 upon 13, then 0.5 upon 13. So this is half, directly gives you 50%. This is 1 upon 26, this give you directly 3.9, 3.85%. So anyway, like it's up to you what kind of method you want to get. Sometimes this method gets easier, sometimes this one is get easier. So you have to go through it. And there's one teaser. We will also learn how to approximate 282856 but by 4927 in our classes. I'll teach you how you can approximate this big numbers also. I'll help you to understand any number, anything you want to make it percentage, you want to make it in multiplication, division, how we get the answer, how we get the best possible approximation answer. This thing is basically approximation method, because after this we will go for approximation, not today. We will start with different classes after 20th, I guess. And for this, we have just this thing only. This is like the base of the calculation. Okay, then guys, so let's move from here. I hope you understood this much, I guess. All of you. Most of you, I guess. And please remember, if you're not getting used to it, please go through it again, because it is not as simple as I am making it as simple, because you need to do a lot of calculation. You might be slow, you might be fast. Everyone is good, everyone is fine, but is like, yes, Ashish, like I always give you methods, like you need to pick up your method. That's why I have given you so many methods, so that you can pick the right one. It's not about the bound, like you have to do it like my way. You have to choose, because always the important thing is the choice. Anywhere, like you are choosing to do an MBA, you're choosing to join iQUANTA. So everywhere one thing matters, that is your choice. And your choice leads to destiny, and your destiny leads to the greatness. That's how it works. So the next thing, the last thing of the class, I hope you are with me, all of you. Last thing, that's a simple last thing, because I guess I'm giving you so many things to think about. So the next slide, we will just learn last thing. I'm promising you, that's the last of the class. Now I'm giving you one, again, very interesting thing, just based on that only. No, class khatam nahi hua. We have 15 minutes to complete the class. We just do the last thing, the last portion we are in, the last portion of this calculation. So this is x% of y is y% of x. Why it is, you all guys understand? What is x% of y? This is xy upon 100. What is y% of x? Y x upon 100. So they are basically similar, right? So x% of y and y% of x, they make no difference at all, right? Because they are identical, they are equivalent, they are same, they are similar. You can say all the terms with this. So the next thing that I'm going to discuss here, it's more or less like how I use this concept here. First, we are not going there. I'm just giving you one simple example to understand this. So let's make it x% of y is same as y% of x. So one easy example is, let's say 20% of 50 is how much? What is 20% of 50, guys? What is 10% of 50? 5. What is 1% of 50? 0.5. What is 10% of 50? 5. What is 20% of 50? That is 10. Now what is 50% of 20? The half of 20. What is half of 20? Again 10. So that basically same. Clear? Now using this technique, we are going to solve all of these things. This technique and what we have learned just before. Okay? So you understand? So like we can use this thing. So this is a very important concept. We will also learn in percentage also this thing. But this is also very, very important concept while we are solving DI questions. And you need to understand how we change these things. Yes. So let's begin with 64% of 12.5. Let's begin with this. Now, if it is 64% of 12.5 is there, देखो, to find 64% of 12.5 is rather difficult than to find 12.5% of 64, isn't it? Why it is easy 12.5% को निकालना? Because I know what is 12.5%, 1 by 8, isn't it? 12.5%, if you remember, I'm going back also for your year, what is 12.5%? Here is 1 by 12 is 12.5%, this is 12.5%, this is 1 by 8. So I'm just going for your reference. ठीक है, so 12.5% of 64 is 64 का 1/8. So 64 का 1/8 कितना होगा? 8. As simple as that. So think about this, like if you change the perception, things are much more easier. It's like I'm just using this thing, guys, this one. X% of y is y% of x. That's what I'm using. So it's just about your perception, how you can see things. If you see just the inverse, it becomes very easy. But if you do it directly, it takes you so much time. Trust me on this. Now, how I do in generally exam. Let's say I have shown that is 12.5%. Now what I do in exam, I first do 64 is 100%. What is 50%? Uska आधा 32. What is 25%? Uska आधा 16. What is 12.5%? Uska और भी आधा 8. आधा 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 करते जाओ और भी easy है to just make it easier. You can do 1/8, that's fine. But what is like the basic way? 100% का 64 है तो उसका आधा कितना है? 50%, which is 32. What is the half of 32? That is 25%. That is 16. What is half of 25? That is 12.5%, which is 8. That's why also you can do it. The next one, I hope I make all of you guys understand this. So the next one is 55% of 909. Think about it, how you can solve it. 55% of 909. Like 64, yes, that's what I'm saying. Like if I have written 68, so it's about 64 into 1 by 8. That is 8. So please consider if I'm saying 68 sometimes, so it's considered as a human error. Okay. So now we'll see 55% of 909. The first thing you need to understand, the first very thing is this thing. I just get another color. This 909. We have seen this 909. Remember where we have seen 909? 909 is basically 9.09% is how much? It's 1/11. That's the first thing that should click in your mind to understand this question, how to solve it. So first thing that should click in your mind, what is 9.09%? This is 1/11. That's the first thing you need to see from this explanation or this question. So that is how you see a question. The first thing that should come to your mind. That's why I'm telling you, you should remember this. So 9.09% is 1/11. Fine. So I need to just convert it. So it is 909% of 55. That's why I need to find 909% of 55. Clear? Now think about it. 9.09% is 1/11. So what is 9.09% of 55? That is 1/11 into 55, which is 5. Am I clear? So 9.09% of 55 is 1/11th of 55, which is 5. All of you with me? Everyone? The first what I learned, 9.09% of is basically 1/11. Second thing I'm do, 9.09% of what? Of 55. So I just multiply 9.09% is 1/11 into 55. Because 9.09% is nothing but 1/11. So 1/11 into 55, I get a whole number which is 5. That is the absolute thing which we need, a whole number which is 5. Am I clear? Now 909 and 9.09. You multiply this thing into 100. What you'll get? 909. Haan hai na? 9.09 into 100 is how much? 909. So if you are doing the operation multiplied by 100 here to get 909, you do the same operation here also, multiply by 100 and you'll get your answer 500. Am I clear? Do you understand, all of you? I guess all of you are picking it up. It's very nice. Like, great work, guys. Great work. A lot of people are picking it up. Anyone has any doubt in this? Do you understand what I'm doing? I'm just using the numbers in my benefit, in my confidence. Like how I want to use the numbers. Do you understand, right? I guess all of you, fair enough. So this is how we can, and remember one thing. Let's say if 20% is, let's say 7, so 2% has to be 0.7, 200% has to be 70, sorry, 2000% has to be 700. So the number of zeros you increase here, the number of zeros you increase there also. I'm sorry, eraser. So this thing is also very important technique also we do. If let's say, this is assume, if 20% of x, let's say, is 7. Yes, I can repeat again. So first what I did, I had just taken 909. So 909 देख के what should I remember? Just 9.09. That I should remember by seeing 909. So 909 is 9.09%. So 9.09% is 1 upon 11. Now what is 9.09% of 55? 9.09% of 55 is 1/11th of 55, which is basically I'm getting 5 here. Am I clear? So if I'm getting 5 here, now 9.09 and 909, what is the relation between them? If you multiplied 100 times of 9.09, you will get 909. If I multiply 100 times 9.09, I'll get 909. So if I'm doing 100 times multiplication, then I have to do again 100 times of 5 also, because we have to do the same operation in both cases. So if 100 into, I have multiplied 100 here to make this, then I have to make 100 again multiplied here to make 500 also. I will repeat with simple figures, don't worry. Do you understand, most of you guys, I guess? I'll repeat with simple figures also, don't worry. So as you guys want to have, and please, if you have any problem with understanding, just take the screenshot, please. And I repeat with a simple one. Don't worry about it. So I'm just repeating with a very simple number. Let's say 35% of 20. ठीक है? 35% of 20. Now, this is a little bit difficult than to do 20% of 35. Now, what is 20%? 1 by 5. And what is off? Off is multiplication, 35. What is your answer? Clear? Those people, Kapil and the other people who have some problems, who had some problems, I guess I make you understand how I'm using it. The rest things what I'm using is just improve your calculation, nothing else. So you understand, right? How much you need to focus just to improve your calculation, how much you need to focus. That's how this thing works. So let's go for the next question. 7.7% of 2856. Now, what is 7.7% of 2856? 2856. Think about it. Again, you need to understand this number. I'm sorry. You need to understand this number, 2856. Now, what about 2856? I have told you 7, 14, 28. So first you need to understand this is double of 14.28. Now I'm making it a little bit more difficult. So 2856 is basically double of 14.28, right? Now what is 28.5? What is 14.28? This is 1 upon 7. So what is 28.56? That is 2 upon 7. Because this into 2 is this, this into 2 is this. Clear? Yeah. Excellent, guys. You are cool. You're doing great. Yes. So this is 2 upon 7. So I can write, so what is 28.56% of, let's say, 7.7? Now this is 2 upon 7 into 7.7. Am I clear? 2 upon 7 into, so what is it? This is basically now I'll got 2.2. So 28.56% of 7.7 is nothing but 2.2. Am I clear? So if 28.57 is 2.2, what about 2856? What I'm doing? I'm multiplying 100. What I need to do here? Again, I need to multiply 100 here. 220. This is how I'm doing. It is very easy to do it mentally. So you can solve this question mentally also. Like how I can solve this question mentally. That is important also. How you solve this mentally. That also you can do. Yes, you're right. Use 7.9. You also can use that thing. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's also you can do. Perfect. You can do 70.77, you can do it 7 by 9. But I find it really much easier when I do it mentally. Why I do it mentally? Think about it. 28.56. Like how I do it mentally when there is an exam. So 28.56% is, I know, 2 by 7. Right? And you should know after some point of time also. So now 2 by 7 of how much? So what is 1 by 7 of 7.7? That is 1.1. So what is 2 by 7? That is 2.2. Now what is the question? 28.56%. And what I have? 28.56. So what I need to do? I need to multiply 100. So what is my answer? 2.2 into 100, that is 220. So the entire thing, you can do it in your head. That is the most important part. So right now I'm showing you how to do it by calculating also. But the most of these kind of questions you can do it in your head. And that's your practice, how fast you can do so you can do it in your head. The answer is 220. Why 220? 2.2 is basically, this 2.2 if you see, this is basically 28.56%. If I need to make it 2,856%, then I have to multiply here also 100. So your answer is 220. Because 28.56% is 2.2. And guys who have done with 77.77, that is also fine. But I find it's easier in case of 28.56%. I hope I make most of you understand. This to your homework. This two things is your homework. And now you can ask me anything. I'm here for you guys. So this is all about it. All about today's DI, like calculation techniques. I hope I make you understand. This is an approximation question actually, Roshan. We need to take decimal care depending on the question. Generally, the good approximation is always modulus of 0.2. Like if your answer is plus minus within the bracket of 0.2, you have a great approximation. Good approximation is when it is between 0.5 to 0.5. That is a good approximation. Bad approximation is everything else. So if it is between 0.2, like plus minus, that is fine. That's fair. That's fair. What are you saying, Sagar? Oh, this one is your homework. Don't worry. This one is your homework. You'll do it. Will do. Yes, CAT previous papers of DI will do, but you need to also improve it. I hope you guys love this class. You can always comment here whether you have, it's like how interactive and everything. I am always willing to understand your perspective also. I know you guys can solve this question, that's fine. And for the meantime, if you have any question for me, like you can post me anything. So this is like what we are doing in DI, especially. You guys are correct. I'm very happy. 360, 400, I guess that is the right answer. Might be yes. That's perfect. But this is, yes, again, your homework. And yes, in between, if you have anything you want me to ask, you can ask me. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. Given the fact we have less time for questions, if you use this, yeah, you can use on system calculator depending. If you are good with using that on system calculator, that is fine. I generally do not use ever the on system calculator because I have a very bad habit because we need to click on those buttons. So this is not a very good thing for me. But it's absolutely alright if you are using a calculator in CAD. They have given you a calculator, so you can use it. That's no problem. Thank you, Shubhrajit. Thank you, Roshan. I'm trying to maintaining a good pace also so that everyone can go with us. So sometimes you might feel a little bit less for the other people also. So please bear sometimes. So because we just need to. So I always try to maintain a good pace, but sometimes we have to take care of everyone. This is how we grow together. So session is khatam. Yes, session is done. How do we know that we need to take 2.8? Said because I have already told you, if you're not in the class, that's 28.56% is basically 1 by 14. So that I already given you a chart. So from that chart, you need to have this in mind. What is 28.56? Yes, Max Maclusion, thank you. Everything clear? Perfect, guys. That's what I answered you also, Aryan. Question number 5, yes, I guess the answer is yeah. 400, perfect. Both text mode training, calculation or mind maths, because I prefer mind maths most, but if you are preferring like calculation, speed calculation, that is also fine. Because what I do, I generally use a lot of mental maths. Question 5 is 400. And I hope I can see all of you guys in our actual classes. So let's make this thing. Thank you very much, all of you guys who love my teaching. I just love you guys also. You are very interactive because I love people when they are interactive, and that is how we can make things happen together. So when will live regular classes start? It will start very soon, like I guess after 3, 4, 5 days, I guess. I don't know. But you should talk to the team actually, the sales team. They have the exact figure. I do not have the exact schedule, so I'm so sorry about that. But I hope they can help you out with this. Okay then guys, it's wonderful having you on board. The regular class will start very soon, rather very soon we will start the regular class. And I hope to see all of you. The answer is Bhavani, correct. Thank you, Anjali. Thank you all of you. I'm not saying anyone because I cannot ask. Thank you, Varsha. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, all of you. So let's call it a day. See you guys in the paid class. I hope all of you can be with me in the class. Yeah, the regular class will include a lot of basics also, and you will have all the basic concepts in. I will do a lot of like basic concepts videos also, which you'll get in your dashboard as well. So we will also take care of the basics. So don't worry about it. We will have a lot of plan like how you improve your basic. So don't worry. Like I always tell you people, like it's not where you are, it's where you want to be. It's always important where you want to see yourself, right? So whether you are not understanding, whether you are understanding, whether you have very bad maths, whether you have very great maths, it doesn't matter at some point of time. If you can give you 100%, you will get definitely a better position right now where you are. That is how you should look at the future. Like have a better thing for the next day, for the next 2 days. How you improve yourself. Your competition is you only, trust me. And you should understand how you get better every single day. Yes, include basics again. Cool. Thank you, all of you guys. I love that you guys loved me. And yes, I can't wait to see you guys like very regular basis. And some people are asking me whether I'm from Bangalore or not. So I'm just giving my introduction. I'm actually from Kolkata, but I stayed a lot of times in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Lucknow, Jaipur, Delhi, Kolkata, Bhubaneswar, all of the cities almost. So yeah, so my accent, you can have like a lot of mixed accent I have. It's like, so I can say I basically represent the unity in diversity. Yes, we multiply every time with 100. When this thing we need to multiply, so like 2856 case we need to. Where in Kolkata? I stay near Haldiram. My home is near Haldiram, like near airport. That's nice. All of you guys, it's great to see from people from Kolkata, from the other places. From same time, I will also chit chat. We have good here. I hope you will enjoy later on. Ashish, Varsha, Aryan, all of you. Currently in Bangalore. Nice, nice, nice. 7 thanks. Yeah, I used to. I did my schooling there, close by that. Kishore Bharati, something like that. Yeah. So okay, guys. So allow me to take a leave. Thank you again. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much for such interaction. Thank you.